Today we're going to get organised or get prepared a pair of hard yakka work boots. Now this is really a budget build. It's a cheap pair of work boots. This is just purchased from the local hardware store. Gone in, grabbed a cheap pair of work boots. The issue with these work boots is they're water resistant at the moment, but that won't last long. They're not waterproof. So I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to upgrade these boots. Is really budget friendly. Products going to be using today. I'm going to be using Artisan Sun Heritage Leather Oil. Going to be using Artisan Sun wax-based leather conditioner, and then just one of their applicator sponges. All right, let's get into it. All right, hard yakka. It's the Y60109 slate sand. Let's box it. Alright, there you go. Alright, what have we got? So, typical composite sole there, and then your numbuck leather there over the top. So yeah, what we're going to plan for this, we're going to hit it and hydrate it. So typically this leather is, as I say, from factory, it's been heavily processed, it's very dry. What I find with these work boots is when I wear them and it gets really wet and I'll do some hard work, they'll basically form a crack across here and they'll just wear through. So I'm going to give them hydrate. And once I've hydrated them, that'll help with waterproofing. But then at the end, with the Artisan Sun wax-based conditioner, that's going to waterproof them. So hydrate and then waterproof. And I also dare say I'm going to darken them a bit when I do this. So when I hydrate it, I'll naturally darken it. So I'm actually after that darker look. That will lighten over time as well. All right, let's get stuck into it. Alright, so this is just some of the heritage oil. I'm just going to pour it on there because look, already, wow, you can just see how that's soaking in really quickly. It is super dry. Well, when I say super dry, the leather is very porous, and I'm using that to my advantage. So as I put the heritage leather oil, as the pores take up the oil, it becomes easier to spread. Now, it's interesting, the rough out leather or numbuck leather was traditionally, well, it started off being a military application. So a lot of military boots had the rough outside of the leather. So leather typically has a finished surface, and then your underside, your underbelly there, your roughed outside. A lot of military boots actually started reversing the leather, so they'd have this numbuck on the top there. And the reason for that was exactly what we're doing now. It accepted the leather oils that they put on and any waxes they put over the top to waterproof. So this process here that I'm doing, it's not a new process, but it's not one that's spoken about or done. Like, I can't think of a time where I've seen somebody recommend doing this. And for what it's worth, you've got yourself a pair of boots, nice and cheap. Why not spend a few dollars making them good? I'm not saying these are a top pair of boots after the end, but they're going to be better, or a lot better than what they started with. I know that the leather's going to outlast the sole. And the other thing is just the waterproofing. It's a huge one because I know around where I live at the moment, the mornings are cooler and dewy. So when you walk through that grass, it just stops your feet from getting damp. Also you think about trade applications, your concreters, your tilers, your builders, anybody dealing with adhesives, your concrete cements or your mixers there, your adhesives. What happens to your boots if you leave them rough out? it just gets stuck straight to it, and your boots look rubbish. You know, a week or 2 weeks into a job, and your boots are filthy. They're covered in adhesive, covered in concrete, and that's because, you know, the leather, the porous leather, just soaks up those adhesives or the concrete and sticks to it. So what we're doing here is we're sealing, protecting them, making them better, but also they'll look nicer for longer. So, you know, you've got the functionality, but you've also got the look of the boot. You know, we're going to have a better looking boot for longer. Painters as well, you know, you think about painters, you're dropping paint on your boot all the time, or splatters of paint. This is going to prevent that paint from sticking. So, hey, a better looking boot for longer. Now already, I'm just, really just doing this. I could have stopped here, but you can see that the oil has stopped absorbing into the leather, so the leather pores are full. I don't need to add any more oil here because it's not accepting anymore. So how much oil to add? Just on this boot here, you can see it's accepted all it's need. I could leave it overnight, but you know, the leather pores are fully hydrated. I don't need to add any more to that. So what I'll do is I'll just spread that leather oil around. Any excess I can just wipe off with a cloth. I'm going to work on the sides now. Just one thing with the sides, the elastics here, it's not going to matter if I get a bit of oil on there. You know, at the end of the day, these are a work boot. If I was really pedantic and I could tape that up so I didn't get any, but I can just wipe it off at the end there. The bit of oil, it won't actually, it's not going to change anything at all. I can wipe it off, you won't notice anything. It's the same with your RM Williams, you know, the elastic sides on your RMs. When you're doing the oiling, a little bit will hit your elastic sides, but you just wipe it off at the end. If it does get into it, a bit of warm dish soap is all you need, then I'll just wipe it off. So, yeah, like I said, really foolproof method this one is. Oh, we'll keep going, and as you can see, I'm just really putting it on now just to make it easier, a bit faster as well. I'm pretty happy with that already. All right, I'll just hit this last bit here. The cool thing about the heritage oil as well, if you're thinking about doing this project, which I would recommend, the heritage oil is terrific for any of your leathers that haven't had a lot of care. So I get a lot of customers saying, "Oh, how often should I care for my leathers?" And you know, customers say, "Oh, I've never done it." So if you've never done leather care, using the heritage care oil is a really good first step for hydrating your dry leathers, because without you even knowing, the leather's going to be dry. It's if you haven't done any leather care, leather does need oil, it does need hydrating. And the other thing with the Artisan Sun range, the oil is separate. A lot of companies will try and sell you this one product does all. Yeah, I want to call that out as it's very difficult to do what we're doing here with waxes or silicone products in there. And this is just pure leather heritage oil. Like, it's just hydrating. That's all we want to do here, and we get to control the whole process here. So, like I said before, we know when it's done. We know when to stop. If you've got other products there, well, how do you know when you're done? It's mixed with all sorts of other products there. You don't know when it's done. So that's nice and done. We'll move on to the second boot there and get that hydrated up. And you can see the colour difference there at all. That started to darken. Let's hit this one up and do the same. In terms of how much oil you're going to need, these Petra boots is actually accepting a lot more oil than I had really imagined. This is a 100ml bottle of the heritage oil. It's pretty standard, like on a pair of RM Williams or a pair of your dress boots, 100ml would do, you know, up to 10 boots, because it's accepting only a little amount of hydration each time. These boots are really dry. I dare say the rate I'm going, we'll use that whole bottle, but for the price that it is, it's cheap insurance, really. Like, I haven't paid a lot for the boot, so I'm prepared to you know, pay for some quality leather goods. and put the money in now. Because let's face it, these companies, when they come out of the factory, did they put any leather care? No. Why? Because it costs money. It costs money for the products. It costs money to apply it. So they're just going to do the cheapest thing possible, and that is don't put anything on it. Well, it's the customer's responsibility. And how many customers do you think do it? Yeah, very few. Very, very few. All right, getting closer there. Like I say, you don't have to be too precious. Once we come through with the Artisan leather conditioner, which is wax base, any spots that we've missed with the hydration, the leather conditioner will also add a small amount of hydration to it. But yeah, this heritage oil is the ticket. Like, it is a really magic product. And there we go. There's the last of the bottle. So definitely used it. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go on. Step 2. We're going to waterproof them. So a wax seal. And how do we do the wax seal? Wax is the most superior finish for a leather. You cannot beat waxes, and they've got to be natural waxes, of course. So that's where we come through with the Artisan leather conditioner. It's wax based, so we'll put that on. All right, leather conditioner. Let's get that on there. You can already see. So that leather conditioner, there is a heap of waxes in there. So not skimping out with this whatsoever. Good quality natural product. You can see I'm just using my hands to apply it. I've got the applicator sponge. I'm just going to use my hands on this one. But reason why I love it on my hands. It's makes my hands nice and soft and smooth at the end as well. So I'll just use my hand. I'll also get better control with that as well. But if you don't like that, or you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, use the applicator sponge. Yeah, it's up to you. But yet again, the process of this, I'm wiping it on. How do you know if you've done too much? I can move it around, so I'm just going to give an even covering across the whole boot. And if I put too much on the front there, I'll just move it around. If I get some on the sole, doesn't matter. I'll just wipe it off and move it around. Get some up on the side elastics or in the stitching. Well, that's where I really want it, isn't it? Just gonna work that through, and yeah, beautiful. Oh, this has turned out a lot better. Like these feel beautiful now, absolutely beautiful. Just it just changed the whole boot. Like it felt, like a numbuck, a really cheap pair of boots. I don't want to say nasty, but just a cheap pair. Now that I've done this, the hydrating and the waxing here, whew, like it's going to come up. I don't say it's not going to be a finished leather, but finished to a degree, like finished a lot better than what they have done from factory. I like I came back at the start. I did say history tells us a lot, and back in war, they had the rough outside on the soldiers' boots for this very reason. Why don't we do this more often? Why don't more people do it? Let me know. I'd love to know why more people don't do this. Is it cost? Couple of dollars. Like, when I say a couple of dollars for a good quality leather conditioner, you're going to pay. You're going to pay a few dollars for the conditioner, but am I going to just use it on this one pair? No. I'm going to have conditioner left over other pairs of boots. I'm going to have conditioner to redo this. I'm going to have a nicer pair of boots for longer and outperform. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get these out and get them dirty, get them on the work site, and get them around, and the concrete and the paint, and just to see how they hold up. And I tell you what, they're going to hold up beautifully. There's if something gets hit, splashes on that, it's not going to stick to it. You're going to wipe it off. Water, it's going to roll. The water's going to beat off this. Beautiful. The hydration and this wax finish. Whoa, the performance on these. Wow. No walking around with soggy boots. Now, if you think about this at the start, you saw how much that oil pulled into the boot. If we didn't do that, what's going to pull into the leather? Any water that hits it, any paints, any foreign, think about petrol or diesel or, any gas that hits your leathers. That's going to pull into the leather. And once it pulls into the leather, that's where it stays, isn't it? That's where it stays. So do it from new. And we're stopping that. We're stopping all those things from pulling into the leather. Yet again, look at these sides here. I've just actually rubbed a little bit of the wax-based conditioner on that as well, and that'll just help seal out the elastic as well. Stop the water. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. Yeah, there's no harm in that. I'll just stop them from getting dirty, stop them from getting any water or paint or whatever on there. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. As you can see, I'm just really overdoing it on this one, but that is done. There's nowhere on that leather now that hasn't been hydrated and then, sealed and protect with the Artisan Sun wax-based conditioner. Beautiful. All right, I'll put that down to the side. We're not done with that yet, so I'm just going to put it down and do the other one. I don't know if that will come up on the screen, but you can see, yeah, it is. You can see that how that is smoothed out there. It's finished to a degree. Probably the other point to this, if you're looking at a pair of boots and you don't know what sort of boots to get, the harder you wear them, the better leather selection that you need to choose. And I think this is a good example. If you do see some numbuck leather that's got a good nap to it, you do the same process. You're going to hold more of the hydration, more of the wax-based conditioner. You're gonna have a beautiful pair of boots. I've probably said that too many times, haven't I? Beautiful pair of boots, but they are. Like, for the price I paid of these, the leather conditioner with the price here, I'm well in front. Like, this is yeah. Would do it again. Would recommend it. There is no reason why you wouldn't do this. Alright. Yet again, I'll hit those side of those elastics. Alright, I know that's done, because as I run my hands over it, and you're noticing I'm running my hands over a lot, I can feel the dry bits of leather, or the leather that hasn't been coated, and the leather that has, and I'm just working into the areas that feel a bit dry, a bit rough. And then once it starts to glide, I know, yep, that's done. So that's probably the other thing with using your hands there. I know when the leather's done. Beautiful. All right. Hydrated, sealed and protect with a wax-based conditioner. What now? Just going to let them sit for 5 to 10 minutes. It's just going to let the leather sit, uptake any oil and the wax is there, and then once that's done, I'll show you the final step. All right, it's been a couple of minutes. Final step. I'm just going to give them a wipe down, and all that's going to do is just remove any of the excess waxes just sitting on there. Any build up just around the seams there, and then I'm not giving it a hard wipe, just giving it any excess just around, around the sides, on the front there, on the back. Quick wipe. Have a feel. Beautiful. All right, that's almost ready to go. Let's hit it with some water and see what happens. Magic. Absolute magic. Look at that. I could stand there and do that all day. That's not water resistant, that's waterproof. Bang, 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 bang. Absolutely pulling off. Well, there you have it. Hydrated, sealed and protect. Cheap pair of work boots now turned into a quality pair of work boots. How? Through quality leather gear. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.